Welcome to another episode of the AI Plus Recruiting Podcast. I'm Alex Rojas, your talent advisor and host. And in today's episode, this is going to be an episode where I'm going to give you some encouragement. I'm going to give you a little nudge, perhaps, and maybe some inspiration along the way. This episode is all about AI recruiting adoption in 2026. Specifically, I'm going to show you how to explore, evaluate, and execute AI into your talent acquisition tech stack. You see, I've been neck deep in AI recruiting adoption probably for the last couple of years, and I've seen firsthand some of the successes that come with it. I've been part of some of these industry panel discussions, webinars. I've met with experts. I've attended conferences and trade shows, and I've been debating AI within talent acquisition over and over and over again. So I'm going to give you some of the highlights, but the big thing that I want to focus in on this episode is I'm going to give you 3 types of talent acquisition personas when it comes to AI adoption. And specifically, when you think about the 3 types of personas that we typically tie into this, you're thinking about a hot, warm, and a cold persona. So I want you to consider which one you are, or maybe perhaps which one your recruiting team is a part of, and maybe even your company or your leadership. Stick around to the end of the episode, and we're going to show you how to move into action and get yourself unstuck essentially from this AI paralysis analysis. I'm ready. I'm pumped. I'm excited. Let's discuss. Okay, so let's dig into this. There are 3 types of personas when it comes to considering AI adoption. So let's start off with the hottest one, right? This is what I tend to call the accelerators. These are the teams that have taken action. They've identified the needs of where they need to improve, and they've moved fast. They have already gotten into the buy-in stage from leadership, whether it's at a TA level or an executive level. They've added AI tools across their tech stack, and that could be in sourcing or screening or scheduling, or even things related to the candidate experience. And so they're in that stage right now where they've already gotten past sort of an MVP or a beta test. They've already sandboxed. They're probably in a pilot stage, or they're fully implementing AI operations within their tech stack. And so they're in that place where they're measuring results, and they're evolving, they're tweaking, they're enhancing it, they're making it better. They're already on this. They treat AI like it's a business asset because it's increasing their productivity and efficiency. And more than importantly, everything is happening simultaneously, autonomously within the recruiting stack. And so the goal for them is to have a high level of confidence and really begin exploring maybe the next AI initiatives, the next iterations of AI in that particular problem use case, or maybe identifying other use case situations where now they want to apply more AI solutions to their tech stack. Okay, so when we look at the second persona, this is what we call the warm or the lukewarm. And I like to consider these types of organizations or, leaders or recruiters as the dabblers. And so for the dabblers, they've really dipped their toes in one or maybe 2 aspects of the AI water ecosystem, if you will. So typically the most common thing you hear when you say, what are you doing in AI? You hear, hey, we're using ChatGPT for creating emails or editing job descriptions or coming up with Boolean searches or doing candidate searches or identifying leads, or maybe they're incorporating AI when it comes to AI recording note-taking in meetings. And so those are kind of the low-hanging fruit. And so really, they're not only doing that, but they're also looking at turning on some AI features that are starting to get rolled out with some of their existing tools that they have. So a lot of the vendors right now, they're running, if vendors don't have AI incorporated into their roadmap, or it's not existing right now, then they're falling behind. And that's a company or an organization that you want to consider not being part of. And so most companies then are saying, yes, we're doing AI because some of these tools and vendors that we work with are turning on these modules that have AI experiences, but they still haven't really built a a realistic AI roadmap. And so a lot of the reasons why that's the case is it comes down to talent acquisition leaders not being committed to AI. And so adoption becomes kind of aloof, a little ad hoc, and so they're missing the bigger opportunity. And so this could be just a company culture thing. There's just going to be some, if you're in a company right now where they're just talking about AI and they're going to stay stuck in that ChatGPT or note-taking AI experience, or maybe turn on a couple bells and whistles with some existing tool stacks, then that's probably as far as they go. And so they're not really seeing how to leverage AI, and they're really just staying put and grabbing some of that low-hanging fruit and lacking real commitments. The third persona is going to be the cold ones. Okay, so this is ice cold here. So these are the skeptics, as I like to consider them. So they are still stuck in debating AI. And these debaters, these skeptics, when it comes to AI adoption, they're still talking about the same things. They're talking about bias. They're talking about ethics. They're talking about fear of losing their job, replacing recruiters. They're talking about legal and privacy or AI governance. They're listening to everybody's opinions, especially the ones that are half glass empty folks that aren't really on board. They're skeptical about AI. And so really what's happening here is that talent acquisition teams are really lacking recruiters that are going to be leaders in bringing AI tools to the forefront for consideration. So maybe they're also holding out, to this notion that, humans are more superior than AI bots or AI agents or AI assistants. And so by being inflexible, they're being closed-minded and they're holding out to see what everyone else is going to do. And so you can typically, when this happens, you will lose out to the competition. You'll lose out to talent. You lose out to competitors in your industry, in your space, if you're going to hold for another 3 months, 6 months, another year. Reluctancy to accept the future in recruiting. But what I mean by that, it's when you're reluctant about accepting that the recruiting atmosphere, the environment, the ecosystem is changing, and really what's changing about it is there has to be a blend of AI and humans, and they all have to collaborate and work together. And as sooner that you accept that, then you can get moving from out of this cold persona stage. Okay, it's closing commentary time for the AI plus recruiting mindset. And really what I want to focus on is eliminating AI paralysis analysis. And so what keeps teams in this cold persona stage, the skeptics? It isn't the lack of tools or, the lack of resources. It really comes down to the fear of change and the fear of failure, not having enough clarity as well. And the first step to overcome this isn't by executing, but it has to do with the mindset. It has to do with changing your company culture and making sure that you get that leadership buy-in. For those that are kind of in that lukewarm persona stage, they're the dabblers, they just need to put together a game plan together. And part of the way that you can do this is really by assembling what I would say a tiger team or a committee system of recruiters that are willing to explore, to be curious, and to get aligned with AI and to start making recommendations to the organization. You see, the key is to get company buy-in. And by doing this, that means that you have to be an AI advocate and you have to learn how to step into action. This is a process that has to move in. You have to start building that case. You have to start getting that AI banner, that AI adoption banner, and wave it as much as you can, just so you can start building some of that momentum that says, hey, we are going to be committed to bringing in AI technology into our portfolio stack. I hope this episode was informative. Please remember to like, to subscribe, to comment, and to share. And until next time, remember, it's all about the AI plus recruiting mindset. Take care.